Hello students. So in the previous class students we were talking about in the chapter that is why do we fall ill about that what are the different principles of the treatment of a disease. And in the principle of the treatment of a disease we discussed that there are two different types of principles are there for the treatment of the diseases. That is, either we can reduce the effect of the disease or we can kill the microbe or the infectious agent which is responsible for the occurrence of that particular disease. Okay. So reduction we can do that. Sometimes you see when the inflammation is there, the inflammation which is caused due to the reaction which is shown by the immune system when microbes attack on the body. This body pain or fever, these are very common symptoms at that time, or a cough is there student, or a headache is there. So all these things, it can be reduced, it can be treated by taking a proper analgesic or antibiotic. So this will help in reduction of the effect of the diseases. So first one that we already had discussed is to reduce the effect. And the second one student that we can do is to kill the microbes. So to kill the microbes students, you see that there are times that okay, we are reducing the effect of the diseases, but until and unless we are not killing the microbes, you can say that that will be not a permanent solution. So better we should kill the microbe which is responsible for causing the disease. And in this students we have talked about that every drug will act on a group of that of an infectious agent. Like you see, if you say that antibiotics. So basically antibiotic is a kind of a drug which only work on that of the bacterial or protozoan. So this one is only effective because certain type of drugs. What is the role of a medicine or a drug that we use to take to kill the microbes? Basically its role is to attack on the metabolic process of the microbes, and ultimately it will help in killing the microbes. Okay, so we can say that every microbe or every infectious agent, they are having a different kind of a metabolic process. So the drug, a type of a drug will act on a particular type of microbes. So antibiotic is a kind of a drug, you can say, which, or a kind of a chemical substance which is good or which attack on that of the metabolic process of the bacteria and protozoa. And because of this only students, you can say that these antibiotics do not work on the viruses. Okay, so and what is the reason behind it students? So you see that antibiotics, since it affects the metabolic process of the bacteria and protozoa, so it will not going to affect the attack on that of the viruses, and we can say that it do not work on the virus. So whenever the term antibiotic came, you always understand that it will help us to cure the attack of the bacteria or that of the protozoa. When we talk about the viruses, students, so okay, what about the virus? There is some problem with the virus. That is, they do not have their own cellular machinery. Okay, and thus it will deal with the very less number of biochemical reactions of its own, and that is why the number means is to deal with that of the viruses is a very difficult task, and thus we can say that because of that the number of the antiviral is less. Okay, so we can say that limited in number, effective on viruses only, then viruses do not have its own metabolic process. Thus, antiviruses limited. Okay, so it is very difficult task to work on that of the viruses, since they are having their own, they do not have its own metabolic process, as they do not have any cellular machinery, so it is very difficult to deal with it. Okay, and so whenever the question is asked that why antibiotic do not work on the virus, you will say that antibiotic is made in such a way that it will affect the metabolic process of the bacteria and protozoan. Thus, it is not good or it is not okay with that of the viruses. And antiviral are limited in number because the viruses, they do not have its cellular machinery as well as very limited number of a biochemical reaction take place in virus. Thus, the number of the antiviral is also limited. So this is all about the principle of the treatment of the diseases. Now we will talk about the next one, that is principle of the prevention. Principle of a prevention, students. So when we talk about the principle of prevention, so you see, student, that there may be a person who is suffering from a certain kind of a disease. Okay, and after treatment, it is possible that the person will become a disease free also. But there will be a chances that the person may undergo through some limitations or shortcoming due to that of the diseases. Okay. Like what kind of a shortcoming, students? Although the person now become a disease free, but he or she can suffer by certain problems or limitations. The first one, that a person after treatment may become disease free, but chances is there that his or her any of the organ may get permanently damaged because of that particular disease. Like you see in polio, students, that in polio, the limbs of the person get affected. Okay. So, we can say that the first one is the in which the organ may or may not go to the permanently damage. The second one, students, we can say that sometimes it happens that the person may undergo through a long and a costly treatment. Okay, so not only this, even because of that particular disease, doctor, they used to say to that patient that you have to take a complete bed rest, and because of that the person is not able to go somewhere or to work. So this will going to make a person lack of money, as well as it will also include the waste of time. Okay, so lack of money because he or she is investing a lot of money on his disease, as well as he or she is not going outside for work so that they get a more money. Then the third one is, students, that is that a person who is suffering from the infectious disease, chances is there that he or she can transmit that disease to the other person also. So ultimately it will lead to the disease to the healthy person. So these are what? These are some of the limitations or some of the shortcomings that by which we can say we suffer after the treatment of that particular disease. So what we can do, students, to overcome with the limitations or overcome with these shortcomings, that better we should follow the prevention than wait for the disease. Okay. So we can write it. What are the different principles of the prevention, students? So you see, a person may become disease free after the treatment. Okay, after the but he or she may undergo some of the limitations or shortcoming after this treatment. Okay, you can write it. Okay, so a person, he or she may become disease free while treating the disease, while undergoing the treatment of the diseases. After the treatment, maybe the person become disease free, student, but there may be some shortcomings or the limitations may occur after this treatment. What kind of a limitation, students? So we can write it. There are 3 limitations. You see, that is, the diseased person may become disease free but sometimes what happen? There will be a major damage can occur. Including non-functioning of any of the body organ. Okay, so you see students that the person, he or she may become disease free, but you can understand it will cause a major damage, which will include the not functioning of any of that particular organ of the person. You see student, if we talk in case of a polio, limbs of a person, polio. So this is an example students, that a limb of a person in case of a polio, it do not work, although the person may become disease free after taking a proper medicines and all, but once the treatment occur, that will also lead to a damage of that particular organ or particular part of the body. So chances is there student that the person will become disease free, but may suffer from a problem with not functioning of any of the body organ. Next one is, that is the person that is, sometimes the patient undergo may undergo the long and costly treatment. Okay, so sometimes it happens the patient may undergo long and costly treatment, and doctors may recommend it for the complete bed rest. Okay, and doctors may recommend which leads to waste of time and money of a person. Okay, so possibilities there are sometimes that the person may undergo the long and costly treatment, and you know that students, doctors, sometimes they used to say complete bed rest, so ultimately it will lead to the loss of money as well as loss of the time of that person. Okay, next one is that if the disease is an infectious disease or a person suffering from the infectious disease, then chances is there that that person will become the source of the infection to the other and may give or may transfer the infection to the healthy person. Okay, so the third problem is that is if the person is suffering from an infectious disease. From an infectious disease, he will becomes a source of infection. And may spread this disease to the healthy one. Okay, so chances is there, student, that a person suffering from an infectious disease may he will become a source of the infection and may spread this disease to a healthy person. Okay, so these are some of the limitations or the shortcomings, student, which can occur after the treatment of the disease. And because of this limitations or this problems, you can say, or shortcomings, what we have to do, we have to overcome the shortcomings and the limitations. We have to follow the rules of the prevention, or we can say we have to follow the prevention from this disease. And you see, students, it is also said that the prevention is better than the cure. So before the occurrence of the disease, if we are able to prevent it, or we can say that if we are able to prevent the occurrence of the disease, then ultimately it will protect us, as well as it will help in overcoming with these shortcomings or these problems which occur after the disease occurs, or even after the treatment of the diseases. Okay, so we can say that better we should prevent the occurrence of the disease rather than waiting for it and after the treatment. Okay, so prevention is better than cure. So to overcome with all these shortcomings, what we have to do, we have to follow the principle of the preventions. Now you see, students, that what are the preventive measures which we can take while we are exposed to that of the infectious agent, or if we are living in an area where the infectious agent are very active, how can we prevent ourselves from the effect of this infectious agent? So let us discuss some of the preventive measures. These were what, students? These were the shortcomings, these were the problems, that diseases. And because of that, we have to take a preventive measures to protect ourselves, okay, before the disease occur to us. So what are the different preventive measures, students? So you see, you can write it. Okay, what are the preventive measures, student? So first one is that providing safe drinking water. Providing safe drinking water. Providing safe drinking water. So you see, student, providing safe drinking water. So you see, a lot of a disease occur if we are not consuming a safe water, or a pure water, or a disease-free water. Because contaminated water, when you drink such kind of a water, then microbes will enter in your body, and ultimately it will leads to the disease to that particular person. So what we have to do, we have to avoid to take a contaminated water. Instead, we should take a water which is safe for us, or which is pure for us, or which is disease free. Okay, so because of that, no infectious agent will enter into our body. Second one is the student, providing living conditions which are not overcrowded. Okay. Providing living conditions which are not overcrowded. So you know that students, that if suppose we will live in such a condition where the more people are there which is overcrowded, then the chances of the spreading of the disease will be increased a lot. Okay, so suppose if a person is having a cough or a cold, I am taking in a very simple kind of a disease, you can say. So that will be easily get distributed to all the persons living in that particular area. Okay, so we can say that we should live in a proper living condition which is not overcrowded. Because of that, if it is not overcrowded, then what will happen? It will lead to the lesser chances of the attack of the infectious agent to the person. Because if it occur to a person also, since there is a good distance or it is not overcrowded, so it will not going to affect the other person who will come in contact with the first person. So we should live in a condition which are not overcrowded. Next one is that never buy food articles which are sold at roadside. Okay, so never buy food article which are sold at roadside. Okay, so you see students, we know that the flies, they used to sit on the excreta of a human being or the animals, and finally they will sit on the food articles which is already opened. Ultimately what will happen, it will take the microbes or the infection from the excreta to that of the food articles. So when you consume such kind of a food articles, basically the food articles which is sold at the roadside, that are the open one. Okay, so if you will consume such kind of a food articles, so it will lead to the disease to the person, because the microbes will be present on the food articles, and when you consume such kind of a microbes, these microbes will enter in your body and ultimately causes a disease. So we should avoid such kind of a food articles which are sold at the roadside. Okay, so with the help of this student, we will move to the next point also, that okay, we should never buy food articles which are sold at the roadside, or we can say that we should never take open food. Okay, so we can write the next point. The next point is never take open food articles. So likewise we said, in case of the food which is present, which is sold at roadside, that we should not take it, and the reason is the infectious agent can be present on the food which is carried by the different vectors, carried either by the flies or by the mosquitoes, especially flies students. So they get stick on the food articles, and when you take it, when you consume it, ultimately the microbes will enter in your body, and the living organism, they get a new host and start multiplying and causes disease. So we should not buy food articles which are sold at the roadside, as well as we should not take open food articles, because the open food will consisting of a microbe. Chances is there that most probably the microbes will be present on it. Okay.